Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, September 10th. And you can see our first load of black beans came in over the weekend, and nice looking beans that they were. And sugar beets going, edible beans now beginning. I think corn and soybeans within the next 2 weeks. Certainly things are going to be starting to crank up here across mid-Michigan. Our headlines for today: showers will eventually move out with lots of clouds today, and that'll hold our temperatures down in the 60s. And we begin our warming trend beginning tomorrow with low 70s. And by the end of the week or the middle of the week, we can see temperatures in the 80s, and that'll be about 10 degrees above normal. So some very warm temperatures for this time of year, and humidities will be on the increase as we get towards Friday and over the weekend as well. But the main story is definitely going to be Hurricane Florence, which could spell a significant disaster for North Carolina. I'm really worried about, at this point, the northern half of North Carolina and southern Virginia. But again, all of the Carolinas all the way up the coast should certainly keep an eye on this storm, as it looks like it's going to be a major landfalling hurricane late this week. And again, I think it could be a Cat 4 or a Cat 3 when it makes landfall. So very, very significant damage from this storm is expected. Yesterday, though, we had a high of 65 and a cool low of 49. And we had 1/100 of an inch of precipitation since midnight for the storm total. So in a sense, we did get some effect from the remnants of Gordon. Again, our temperatures so far for the month of September now down to plus 6.1. That's still very warm, and we may drop a couple more degrees here over the next day or two, but then we'll see those start to climb again as our warm September expected will continue. Sunrise this morning at 7:12. It'll set tonight at 7:57, so we're now getting shorter and shorter on our days. Another week and a half, and we'll be less than 12 hours of daylight. As far as temperatures around the area this morning, we're for the most part we're in the mid-50s. The cool spot at Lakeview at 52. The warm spot at Blissfield. Actually, Blissfield Station is actually down. The warm spot 56 degrees or 56.6 degrees in Lansing, it looks like. And if we look at precipitation, again, since midnight, you can see just some trace amounts. A little more significant over in the thumb, where they picked up about 1/1500 of an inch at Marlette, and up to about a quarter to a third of an inch across portions of southwest Ontario, a little bit closer to the remnants of Gordon. As far as the radar this morning, you can see the most significant precipitation now pulling off to the east, but we do have some leftover light showers this morning. They will eventually weaken, dissipate, and move off to the east, and we'll see mainly clouds. And again, a pretty cool day again today with highs only in the mid-60s. On the satellite view, you can see that area of showers from the remnants of Gordon now pulling well off to the northeast and out of the Great Lakes. And again, we're going to be in a very dry and very beautiful weather pattern here for much of this week with lots of sunshine. And again, a really nice warming trend. And if you notice right on the last few frames, our Hurricane Florence, now beginning to pull in to the satellite view here. And again, that'll be the main story as we get deeper into the week. And again, as we talked about, usually every fall, September, October, we look for this kind of a ridge over troubled waters. And who else to explain that again? Simon and Garfunkel. And again, what happens is when you get that ridge to the north, anything that develops has a chance then to be pushed to the east rather than out to sea. We look at that ridge to shove these storms right into the southeast states. And again, you can see the cluster of models here a few days ago. And if we look at the latest upper pattern, you can see that ridge over the top, Hurricane Florence. We actually have 3 hurricanes out in the Atlantic right now. I'm going to show you that on the next slide. You got Florence. That is definitely going to be a major impact across the southeast states. And again, we'll keep an eye on that. Isaac looks like as it pulls to the east, it'll curve out to sea as it'll be captured by the trough created behind Florence. But then Helene, we're going to have to watch, as that looks like it's going to track more towards the Caribbean. And if it doesn't get killed off by the upper pattern, if it makes it into the Caribbean, it may eventually end up in the Gulf of Mexico here in about 10 days and maybe a threat to the Gulf states. But again, that's quite a ways off yet. But certainly all attention now is focusing on Florence. And if we look at the 5 a.m. National Hurricane Center update, you can see winds are currently at 105 miles per hour. It's moving to the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. And again, here's the expected cone for that storm track. And again, right now it looks like it's going to come in over southern North Carolina. And again, the worst part of the storm is always in the northeastern quadrant of these storms. So right now, this would really impact this area very significantly. and again, possibly all the way up into Virginia or even north. So we definitely have some real troubles brewing for the southeast states here by the end of the week. On the weather map, you can see our low pressure system, which was the remnants of Gordon, pushing off to the northeast, and again, that'll pull the inclement weather out of our area, and we're going to be left with sprawling high pressure systems here over the next 4 days, and it's going to give us plenty of sunshine and a slow warming trend. Eventually, this high pulls off to the east a little bit, and that's going to help capture a hurricane eventually, and that's also going to give us a southwest wind and warm our temperature up again into the 80s, which will be at least 10 degrees above normal by the time we get into the weekend. And again, not a lot of precipitation expected. And as far as the forecast goes, it looks like temperatures today, again, with some clouds and showers only in the mid-60s, but our slow warming trend continues, and we'll be up into the 80s by the end of the week, and looks like we'll be in the 80s right on through the weekend with just a lot of sunshine expected. So a really nice weather pattern for us, but all eyes will focus on the southeast states here later on this week. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.